Hello and welcome to the predictions video for the Canadian Grand Prix. This is the series in which you guys, the audience, can get involved with. By following that link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked a set of questions that we will briefly go over in just a moment's time. However, before all of that, let us go on over the results for the Monaco Grand Prix predictions, and let's take a look at the leaderboard for that. Congratulations goes to Jess392 for scoring the most points out of anybody, getting 42. Then closely followed behind her is Elita M and Suhas Red Bull Fam, both on 38, having taken one of their boosts. Then we've got Glauber and Boosie as well on 28 and 24. But a huge congratulations also goes to Donaldinho for scoring 23 and not taking one of their boosts. Our current championship leader, Evan Darcy, is down in the positions 11 to 20 table, having scored just 13 points, opting not to take one of their boosts. And then unfortunately you've got myself all the way down in the positions 41 to 50 table. I only scored 8 points. I believe my predictions for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix weren't particularly great, and it's quite evident I only scored 8 points. But yeah, not a very good weekend for myself. Also, apologies if you can hear some birds in the background. I currently have my window open as it is baking hot, and I'd rather not boil having it closed. But if we take a look at some of the statistics for the most accurate qualifying performance, that actually goes to Evan Darcy, getting 5 out of 5 once again. This has seemed to have happened quite a lot of times so far this year. Then we've got Tom Sayer having the most accurate race set of predictions, getting the podium spot on, but including the two Ferraris in their top 5. And then we've got Jess392 having the most accurate weekend score and also being our best performer of the Monaco Grand Prix. But if we take a look at the correct bold statements, we actually have a few of the low risk ones coming true this time. Someone will crash and Russell will be in the top 10, as well as a couple of the high risk bold statements. But if we now move on into the season's totals, we have Evan Darcy bordering on the 200 point club, but they do only have one of their boosts left out of the 5 they started with at the beginning of the year. Then 21 points behind them is Joshua ZA, but with 3 of their boosts remaining, and then Danielle B is actually sitting quite pretty inside that top 10 at the moment with 4 of their boosts left, only on 157 points, ahead of Arturo Salazar and Jess392. Then in the positions 11 to 20 table, there is an extremely close battle between Feed, Torst, Zanilevov, Murdochs, Donaldinho, Ket, and then Cosmos, Mika Tukkanen and Dreamcatcher. They are separated by just 13 points. And then in the positions 21 to 30 table, I'm heading a nice little group here covered by just 6 points, pretty much down to the bottom of the positions 21 to 30 table. There is then, of course, a second half to this leaderboard. We have 88 individual entrants to this series, which is absolutely awesome. Now remember, if you guys want to get involved in this series, then make sure to follow that link in the top line of the description where you'll be asked a set of questions. But with the Monaco Grand Prix results all done and dusted, let us jump on into my Canadian Grand Prix predictions. So by following that link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, the driver of the day, and one bold encompassing statement. Now also in the description is going to be a full list of the rules regarding this series, but the main ones are you're only able to make one submission to this link. And then the submissions close before the start of qualifying. So if you want to be like me and make any of your predictions before any of the practice sessions, by all means do so. But if you want to wait until the very end of practice 3, then you can submit those too, as long as they come before the start of qualifying. There is then, of course, a point scoring system that goes along with this. You'll receive 2 points for a driver in the correct position inside your top 5, and 1 point if they are in the top 5 but not in the correct position. The same is done for the race, however you receive 3 points for a driver in the correct place. You then get 2 bonus points for a driver of the day correct guess, and then the bold statements cover 3 levels of risk. Low risk statements get rewarded 2 points, medium risk 5, and high risk 10 extra points. Now each of these risk levels are mediated by myself, so if you put down a high risk statement and then say something really low risk, like Latifi will finish last or Latifi will crash, I will bump your statement down to low risk. And then new for this 2022 predictions year, we actually have the option to boost your score. You get 5 chances to do this for this season, and this will double your overall tally at the end of the weekend. So make sure to use these boosts wisely. We do have a couple of people, there are 2 now, that have actually run out completely of their boosts, and we're only up to round number 9. So with all of that out of the way, make sure to follow that link in the top line of the description to get involved in this series and submit your predictions. We're now going to get over my entries into this weekend's Grand Prix. And my qualifying top 5 for pole position, I've gone for Sergio Perez, and joining him on the front row, Max Verstappen. I feel like this is a fairly safe bet, to be honest, because Perez does seem to have the better of Max Verstappen in qualifying at the moment. It's just race pace. Verstappen is able to find that extra gear, exactly like he did in Azerbaijan. But the Red Bull definitely seems to be the dominant car at the moment, with Ferrari faltering in reliability and also pace-wise as well the last couple of races. Red Bull just seem to have it a little bit easier at the moment, exactly like Mercedes have done for the past age. Then lining up in P3, I've gone for Charles Leclerc, P4, Carlos Sainz, as again, I feel like it's an extremely safe bet. And then for P5, I've actually gone for Pierre Gasly. Now, I feel like this is a little bit of an outside shot for Pierre Gasly, but he has put in some exceptional performances. He finished P5 in Azerbaijan not too long ago, which could have been P4, and he's just been putting in some really decent performances, so I do think he can get a P5 qualifying finish. But moving from my qualifying top 5, we'll now take a look at my race top 5. And for the Grand Prix victory, Max Verstappen. And then P2, Charles Leclerc, and P3, Sergio Perez, rounding out the podium. I just feel that Red Bull are in that situation where they will always favour Max Verstappen, so I feel like something could end up happening in the Grand Prix to Sergio Perez, where they would give the favoured strategy to Max, or prioritise Max even if the scenarios are vice versa, so Perez is leading. I just feel like that is something that Red Bull will quite easily do. Then coming home in P4 is Pierre Gasly, moving up 1 position from his P5 qualifying finish, and then P5, Fernando Alonso. Now again, I feel like this is an outside chance, but again, he's been putting in some decent performances in that Alpine. And then for the driver of the day, I've gone for Max Verstappen, once again, a fairly safe bet. And this leads quite nicely on to my bold statement. It is a medium risk statement for this weekend, and Russell's top 5 race finishing streak will come to an end. So there are my predictions, all done and dusted for the Canadian Grand Prix. Make sure if you want to get involved in this series that you follow that link in the top line of the description and get your submissions in before the start of qualifying on Saturday. Now I just want to say a huge thank you to Sue Dawson and to Elliot Crosson for their continued support to my channel over on Patreon. If you feel like my channel is worthy of your financial support, there are a range of options for you in the description down below. Any form of financial support is greatly appreciated, and you will receive a shout out at the end of the video, so a big thanks once again goes to Sue Dawson and Elliot Crosson for their support over on Patreon. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.